Welcome back to my channel. In my series of exploring Cyprus and why people are choosing to move here, today I'm meeting Maria Gojkovic. Maria is a model, TikToker, and influencer based in Limassol. Her content is a mix of lifestyle, fashion, and authentic glimpses of life on this beautiful island. Originally from Serbia, Maria first came to Cyprus with her family for a holiday, and they fell in love so deeply that they decided to stay and make it their home. We're meeting at the Columbia Confectionery to explore what makes Cyprus so special for her.
Today we're at the Columbia Confectionery here in Kolonagiou, one of the 3 confectioneries that Columbia own. And I've got a very special guest today with me, Maria
Can you say my surname?
Gojkovic.
Yes. High
Yeah?
five. I was good.
Because everyone's like, Gojkovic? Who's Jojovic? I'm like, no, it's Gojkovic. No, in Jojovic. I'm like, no, it's Gojkovic.
Djokovic base.
Djokovic, yeah. Like, no, it's Gojkovic.
Yeah,
See?
they
I got
always
it.
ask me if I'm related to the tennis player. I'm like, yeah.
He's my brother.
He's my brother.
Would you like an autograph?
He's my cousin, my first cousin. What are you on about?
Play tennis.
I played a bit of tennis, not very good at it, but recently I got really into paddle.
Paddle.
Oh,
I'm
great.
starting tomorrow.
First time.
Tomorrow, first time.
Nice.
Because apparently it's what everyone's doing, so.
It's really fun. It's slower than tennis. Like you run less,
Yep.
but it's more interactive. I don't know if that makes sense.
I just want to exercise.
You also just need less skill. Cardio.
I just
You
want to
burn
exercise.
Of calories. A lot.
That's exactly my plan. I just want to burn. I just want to run and pretend I'm doing something.
All gear, no idea.
Yeah. I can't stand the gym.
Me neither.
So for me,
I'm a Pilates girly.
yeah. You do a lot of that as well.
Yeah. 3 times a week
3 times a week.
for the past 3 years.
You're very into that. Would you consider yourself a health freak?
No, not at all.
No?
Like, where?
You eat everything?
Yeah.
You eat everything. Good.
I try to keep a balance of like 70-30, but it's usually
What's
50-50.
the 70?
Healthy.
Oh,
But
right.
usually it's
making
more
sure-
towards 50-50.
Okay.
So I try, but
But you're in perfect shape, so you must do something, right?
thank you.
You exercise.
Pilates.
Pilates.
But not Pilates, reformer Pilates.
Is it? What's the difference?
You use machines and you use springs and resistance and
Right.
like we're here with weights, but it's really different. It's healthier for your body because your joints don't get strained as much. And because you stretch at the same time, you get those nice lean muscles that
Right.
us girlies especially strive for.
So I've seen all your videos and them. I never really understood what it is, but thanks for explaining it.
People pass by the studio and they think it's some weird BDSM situation.
So it's not? Oh,
It's just exercise.
just exercise.
Yes.
No. All right, moving along.
Yes.
So you're originally Serbian.
Yes.
Are you also Cypriot?
No, I'm fully Serbian. So people often, when they hear me speak Greek or they know I grew up here and I'm very intertwined with the Cypriot society, they assume I'm half. They don't assume I'm fully Cypriot, but they assume I'm half.
I thought you were half. I thought one of your parents is Cypriot because just like me, I'm half Lebanese, half Cypriot. I thought you're probably half Cypriot, but you're full on.
No, I'm fully Serbian.
Allah είσαι Κυπρέα. Let's be honest.
Listen, growing up, I'm a very proud Serbian. I'm very proud of my roots, but I'm almost equally proud to be raised in Cyprus. So I always used to tell people, Dime Serbo Kiprea, that I'm Serbo-Cypriot. And, like when I've had situations where I don't want to get into too many details and people ask me, where are you from? I'm like, Cyprus. They're like, no, but like, where are you from? I'm like, Limassol. Limassol.
Like, come on, you
And then-
can't be from Cyprus. What else?
But like,
No.
where from? I'm like, Mesagitonya.
Yes, are you then? Do you like my full address?
Yeah, because like I don't like going into the details of like, yeah, I'm from here, but I grew up here, and it's like a long story. I'm not from here.
Why Maria is what you are today, which is would you consider yourself an influencer? Like, what do you consider yourself today?
I don't like the word influencer
So what are you?
at all. I prefer to go by the term content creator.
Okay.
Also because I have worked as a social media specialist in companies. I would very much rather define myself as a content creator. So I create content for a living. Now,
But you do that for yourself. Doesn't that make you an
I don't
influencer?
do that for myself. I don't like that term. It's like, who am I influencing? I don't know. my goal is, I don't know. It's a weird term with weird
Also, it's a thin line.
and
It's a thin line between both as
weird
well.
connotations to
Yes.
it, influencer. And I'm not going to define myself as an influencer. If someone wants to call me an influencer, cool, fair enough. But me, myself, I go by the term content creator.
Okay. So you do content for others as well.
I have, yes. Not right now, but yes, I have in the past.
Do you like doing that?
Yes, it's a very interesting industry, but I think in Cyprus we're a little bit behind and clients don't really understand what you're talking about.
Oh, we're getting there.
We're getting there, but it's a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult explaining your area of expertise to someone who makes the decisions and convincing them why it works. Because if you're not in the space, a lot of things don't make sense.
Absolutely.
So it's a very fast changing industry. Every day there's some new update. Every day there's a new trend. Every day there's something new happening.
Every day the algorithm changes.
Yes. And it's if you do it for yourself, for your own social media, you expose yourself a lot. And you have to be
You have to be ready for it. Yeah.
it can get controversial. Cancel culture is on another level. So you need to be really careful to shield yourself and be prepared for backlash.
I want to talk about cancel culture. But first, let's have a coffee.
Yes, please.
What did you order?
Ice latte, like we discussed. Ice latte girly.
What is it with this ice latte thing? You got a podcast about it now. Tell me.
Basically, the concept of the name. I mean, we did briefly explain this in a podcast, but it's not about the ice latte itself. No, it's my go-to drink, summer, winter. Always an ice latte in Milan and toys with coconut milk. So it's my go-to drink. It was more the concept of two girls having coffees and talking, chit-chat.
Like we are right now.
Like we are right now, two girls.
Stop it.
So the concept behind Ice Latte Girls is two girls who sit and talk about girly talk, things that occupy us, things that concern us, things happening in our take on them. So very
And your guest is always Olivia.
well, it's a podcast between us two, but some
You have other guests as well?
interesting tweaks are coming
Okay.
through. So we might be having
Some guests?
maybe.
Okay. But it's always you two?
It's always us two.
It's always you two.
Because the concept, and we got a lot of feedback for that, is, to have a more casual podcast. Podcasts are very new in Cyprus. It's not really a big industry.
But they've started to become
They've
very
started
popular.
to pick up,
Yes.
but we realized that there's a big gap. There's nothing in English, and there's nothing that is really casual. And
And just
truthfully
chill.
speaking.
Yeah, just chill.
Because with podcasts, the international ones I listen to are not the super educational ones, and they're not the super controversial ones. They're more of like, oh, I'm driving the car, seasoning to casual chit chat, just something that will help you switch off, relax, rest, and then okay. Also, you can start a conversation. A lot of the topics we discuss, we always ask the audience, "What's your take?" And we want to hear, and then we can rediscuss it in the next episode. And it's just building community, because we love our community, and through social media that we've been doing for years, we've built quite a small but strong community, and it's very supportive and it's very positive. And I mean, we get young girls and boys texting us very personal problems and asking for our advice. So, to
You didn't expect that, did you?
further, because I can't sit and respond to every single person. It will occupy my whole day. I thought a nice way to build further into this community environment and interaction with the audience would be a podcast, because then it's just more feasible.
Did you expect them to ask you all these questions?
They have been asking for years. The first time I got a very personal message, I was like, whoa, am I qualified to answer this? And I
Do I want to answer this?
I started freaking out because it's a big responsibility. And at the end of the day, the things I speak about, I always clarify this in my podcast. Guys, this is me. This is my take. This is my opinion.
Yes.
This is my attitude. Because at the end of the day, there's no right and wrong.
Absolutely.
When we're not talking about anything extreme, it's like, this is my take on life. This is the type of men I like to date. This is the type of way I go out and socialize. It's very specific to me.
Yeah. But that started from you becoming first a content creator.
I mean,
And then?
technically, to backtrack, it all started from modeling.
It started from modeling first.
Yes.
Right.
So I started modeling when I was in high school, and I love fashion. I mean, what girl doesn't want to put on a bit of makeup, get a professional makeup hairdresser, and then take cool pictures? It was always a dream for me as a little girl. So then I started modeling and I started sharing online when Instagram started popping off. And it started being very centered around my fashion content. And then I switched it to showing more behind the scenes because it's not something people get to experience. So I started sharing a lot of that content. And then people were really interested and it started taking off. And it was a bit of a surprise in the beginning because I was doing what all my friends are doing. Everyone had a personal Instagram that was public and they were sharing their everyday life.
Yep.
My life just happened to be a little bit different. And then I got on TikTok before it became a trend, before everyone was on it, before the pandemic. And initially it was my friend from America was doing it. Everyone in America was already doing it. And I really wanted to make funny skits and makeup videos and silly little videos because I find it fun. And I was doing it for me between my friends in the beginning. And it just
blew up.
blew up.
You started on TikTok first and then you moved to Insta. How was your transition?
Well, I've been on Instagram for years because of the modeling. And for me, it also served as my portfolio. So because I was a freelancer, I didn't have an agency in Cyprus. I uploaded all my jobs and then people would see my Instagram, scroll through all my jobs and book me for jobs. So it's a bit of a portfolio.
Right.
And
That was your Instagram.
yeah,
Your TikTok was more of
it's
your...
never huge.
Right.
And then when TikTok blew up, automatically Instagram blew up as well.
Right.
So it was a bit of a mix and match and here and there and everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
It was never, oh, I started this first and this did well. It was kind of everything happened simultaneously.
Parallel. And where are you now in terms of where's your career going on that front, both on TikTok and and Insta?
In the last 2 years, I took a step back.
Why?
I don't know, just for personal reasons. It just became a little bit overwhelming.
What was the work or was it the response of the people?
It's really difficult sharing so much of yourself. So I needed, in that moment in my life with everything happening, I needed a step back. And it became a little bit, you know, like you start, when you're in a relationship, you don't really want to share these days necessarily. Yes. Some people like to, but some people don't. So having everyone in your business 24/7, and we live in a very small society. So wherever you go, people know who you are and they're like looking at what you're doing and it becomes a little bit overwhelming.
But you could decide to share or not share, can't you?
But it's really difficult not to share anything, especially when, you know, you're sharing where you are, what you're doing, everything that's happening in your life, the parts you choose to share. But, you know, people know where you hang out, where you are. It's a lot.
Yeah. It's a thin line to how much you can share and how much you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it becomes a little bit overwhelming because the more you open those doors, the more you allow all the opinions.
Yep.
The more you allow the hate and the controversy, you really open yourself up. You become very vulnerable. So, you know, when you open up, it's a choice.
And that's where you went into more of a defensive and you didn't really want to be out there anymore?
I just needed a bit of a break. Then
Are you back now? Are you finished?
I'm kind of back. I mean, obviously, I also work full time, so it's a bit difficult to balance everything.
What's your full-time job now?
I work, my position is internal communications and PR.
Okay.
So I work at a fintech company. So, you know, I work a proper full-time job and it's a
Plus
little
this
bit
on the side.
difficult
Yeah.
really giving this a lot of energy.
You've been living here most of your life. How many years, roughly? Are we... Without giving us your age, because that's not what my question is. Not asking your age, but roughly, were you living here for like a decade, 2 decades? What is it? 3 decades. Now I give...
Actually, now in March, it's officially been 24 years.
24 years. Okay.
And I'm 24.
Oh, okay. Well, we didn't really ask for your age. We don't care.
So basically, in 2000, after the war, you know, there was a lot going on in
Which
Serbia.
war of the... hundreds of war. We're talking about the
NATO bombing of Serbia in
so,
1992.
so that war. Okay, because we can't keep track anymore.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not a lot has changed in the world. It just got worse. But, I grew up through that bombing. So it was very
Must
tough
be normal.
times. My parents struggled a lot. And after the war ended, a year later, they came for holidays. And they came for a few weeks. And they came to paradise. And as soon as they stepped out of the plane, they were stunned. And then they spent some time here and they realized that when you forget your wallet, a Cypriot man will call you and bring it to you.
Did you lose your wallet? Yeah.
Yeah, my dad lost his wallet and it was brought to him. And you go to the beach and you feel safe letting your kid run around, that no one is going to come and snatch it. Or a lot of people in the apartment building sleep with the door open, which back then Cyprus was even safer than it is now.
24 years ago, it was like that. Yes.
Yeah. So you come to paradise and you have 10 months of summer, a great education system, you have everything. And the close proximity of the school and
Everything is 5 minutes away.
and the extracurricular.
And in traffic. Yeah.
And when something is 15 minutes away, we complain it's far.
Like, oh my God.
We're like,
It's like my
"Oh,
luggage.
the other side of town, man. Where are
Oh,
you taking me?
I'm going to drive for 15 minutes. Are you crazy?
Spoil. Whereas
Yeah.
they were used to taking an hour drive, to get to places.
Absolutely.
So that really kind of shook them, and they really realized, because they were very young when they had me, they really realized that there is no better place to raise a child.
Yeah.
So we stayed.
So I can relate to that because I'm half Lebanese, and
Yeah.
my family also sort of left Lebanon when the War of Lebanon started back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And even though my mum's Cypriot, my dad's Lebanese, we came here, and
Also, you were born in Lebanon.
I was born in Beirut, and I was brought here when I was 6 months old. Literally, they grabbed me as a baby, they threw me. I was on the boat, and they threw me, and somebody.
Arabic.
Absolutely.
Oh, I didn't know that about you.
Arabic is my first language. English is my third. There's French and Greek in there as well.
Oh.
But I can relate also because we moved away also from war. And we had an advantage because my mother is Cypriot. So that's a big advantage for us. And I felt the bombs falling. I felt running away. And I felt what it means to have to run away from the inevitable that's happening. So, and it's the most horrible feeling in the
To
world.
leave your home is a big decision.
Yeah.
And we were babies, so it wasn't such a big deal for us. But our parents had to
Yeah.
uproot their lives. And okay, maybe it was easier for your mom, but still, she had a life in Lebanon,
Absolutely.
And you have to uproot and everything and move to a different country. It's a big decision, especially when you have a child. So honestly, they went through a lot, and we're so lucky they brought us here.
I know, right? They brought us, they could have taken us to anywhere in the world, and they brought us here.
They made a good choice.
A good choice. But you know what? It's relevant to what's happening around the world right now.
Yeah.
We hear of the wars that are happening all over the world. And there's people going through what we're going through as we speak. They're moving their lives to another country, and they're starting over. And, maybe they might not be as lucky to come to a place like Cyprus like we are. But this is how we started, and I can relate to what you said. And you've lived here for 24 years now, and you've now...
I think what also helped us adapt and transition is that Cypriot people, I don't know, I think they were the same towards the Lebanese.
Absolutely.
They were very welcoming towards the Yugoslavian and the Serbian people. They literally welcomed us like this. And, when you move to a country, people don't always welcome
Don't always welcome you.
So
Yeah.
having that hug and embrace from the society was huge.
One of the most important things that I talk about whenever I see people that ask me, about Cyprus, I say, look, when the war of Lebanon happened in the 80s, all the Lebanese fled, and this is the closest place they could come. The Cypriots, every single one, opened their doors, opened their arms, and welcomed them.
Yeah.
The same thing happened in the war of Yugoslavia. 10, 15 years, I don't know how many years later, same thing happened with the Yugoslavians. War happened, they were welcomed. Then all the other wars, whether it was what's happened in Russia with the breakaway from the Soviet Union, then the war in Ukraine, then the war now in Palestine and Israel. And the one thing about Cyprus that's always been
Constant.
and unquestionable is we have been, and I say we as a Cypriot, we have always been welcoming to people who are fleeing their countries, whether it's a war, whether they're refugee, or whether they, just can't live in the country.
I think it plays a huge role that they also had a very recent war and occupation. So
No, not too long. 74 is not so long ago.
a lot of my friends' parents are refugees. I mean, they're still in the same country, but they lost their homes, they lost their land, they had a very hard time. And, they know what it means to have to uproot your life. So I think that impacts how nicely they accept foreigners that come looking for the same sort of,
That's very true.
escape at the end of the day, because we did escape
Yep.
worse circumstances.
And people still do. But I think we've reached the point where there's a limit that's starting to appear. There's just so many refugees coming from all over the world that Cyprus sort of has to protect itself from the influx, just like the States have to put on the borders, the walls, just like Europe have to do everything. They close the borders. I guess Cyprus has now got into, I'm not a politician. I'm not a, governmental person that knows the statistics, but I guess Cyprus has to start protecting itself also from the amount of refugees there is. So maybe there's headlines of, Cyprus is not accepting refugees. Well, there's a limit to it as well.
Yeah, 100%.
With all due respect, and I'm not against it. I don't know what's happening. I don't know the numbers. I can't judge, but I can say that I was welcomed. The Islamists were welcomed. All the wars after that, they were welcome. I was witness of it. I am part of it, and I cannot speak higher in terms of volume on how the Cypriots welcomed us, the Lebanese, the Yugoslavians, Russians, the Ukrainians, when we really needed it.
Yeah, 100%. And, at the end of the day, there was a lot of foreigners that also moved here just for pure pleasure, because they come for holidays and they never leave. So for us, it wasn't so much refugees of the war because the war had ended, but it was more of like, you moved to this country and it's so much better.
Yeah.
And, Cyprus has its issues, but it's April right now, and before I came here, I was at the beach.
So was I. Hence my summery attire.
Yeah, and we're so sad.
It's not even May.
And it's not even May.
Yeah.
So, having that ease of getting everywhere fast and getting to work, and after work, you can go to the beach. Like, you literally still have that 1-2 hours of sun.
I kind of do that every day because I'm at the beach. At the Columbia Beach, so it's a bit cheeky, But yeah, you're absolutely right. You finish your work, you put your swimsuit, you go to the beach, you do your stand-up paddle, you swim, you do your sports.
So I think a lot of people could go to different countries, but they choose to come here because of the ease of life. And I think what also helps is the relaxed nature of the Cypriot people.
The siga.
Which, when you're getting work done, can be a little bit annoying, but overall, living in this Mediterranean kind of mindset of, relax, enjoy, sit back, drink your coffee. It's nice. I don't want to live in a big city where life is hard and everyone is like on the go and on the rush and 20%. I like this relaxed environment,
You see what I mean? The pistachio? This is 100% pistachio.
Oh, it's so
100% mango. So this is made by the Columbia Confectionery.
Oh, it's made in-house?
It's all made by Columbia. The ingredients are completely natural. There's hardly any preservatives in there. And my favorite is actually the lemon sorbet. The lemon sorbet is the best lemon sorbet I've ever had in my life. And I've been trying lemon sorbets all my life, all the way to the Amalfi Coast. I've never had a better lemon sorbet.
There's bits of mango in this.
Yes. And the lemon sorbet, you'll see also bits of lemon in it as well.
As someone who has obviously been here longer, and you're just like 2-3 years.
Slightly longer.
Slightly older, 2-3.
Slightly longer, yes.
Maybe 4.
Get to the point.
Obviously we're from very different generations.
Not very different generations, but
We're a different generation.
maybe. Okay.
I'm Gen Z.
I'll take that.
Technically.
I'm Gen. What Gen am I? Yes, okay.
You're a
Anyway.
boomer.
I'm a baby boomer. Talk about baby boomers.
No, but jokes aside, as someone who's a little bit older than me and grew up in different, like when you were growing up in Cyprus, there was different peak areas than when I was, and different peak spots, and you probably lived tourist area more intensely than I did. So obviously we experienced Cyprus a little bit differently. What did the changes look like to you?
Back then, it was all about tourists, British tourists mostly, coming down to tourist area, going to the 20, 30 bars that was there. And it was more of a holiday destination. I would say what Ayia Napa is, a little bit what it is now. It was more of a holiday destination. It didn't have the momentum or anywhere close to what it has now, or when you grew up. Back then, it was more of a place just for a holiday. You come for a holiday and leave. Things have really changed right now. And a person that, friends of mine that come here after 20 years, they do not recognize Limassol. Limassol has completely changed.
Yeah.
And it's changed in 5 years, in 10 years, and in 20 years. It is completely changed.
There's something you don't like about the changes?
No, I actually embrace the changes. I just want more people to accept these changes and stop putting so much pressure on stopping. The change is coming.
Yeah.
That you cannot stop it.
No, you can't.
You can try to slow it down. You can, but change is coming. People need to be more acceptance of change.
Okay.
And I know from the industry I'm in, nobody likes change. Everybody wants to be in their comfort zone. They do not want to change their habits, and they want to do but let's be realistic. It is not possible to stay in your comfort zone for too long.
At the end of
There's
the
no
day,
such thing.
If there's no change and no growth, there's no improvement. So,
And some people want that. Some people want to stay in that village. They want to stay in their same village house and not have any change. But then in that case, with all due respect, go to the village where it's time is staying still and live there. You cannot fight the change that is coming.
yeah.
It's inevitable. Accept it and find. I would like to invite more people to benefit from this change rather than try to pause this change and slow it down.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so excited to see all the changes. And whenever a new restaurant opens, a new beach bar, a new project, and you like now all these paddle courts opening up, I think it's so cool because it just adds value and it gives you more opportunities to do different things and to break up that routine. 'Cause I think our 3-month mark may shift to 4 or 5 months, when Cyprus develops even further.
When there's more things to do,
There's more,
that island fever starts to slow down a bit.
starts to elongate.
Yes, elongate. You still need to get out of here,
You still,
but not as much.
break.
Yes, not as many
but I
times.
think you need that break wherever you live.
Yes.
I think a nice break from your own routine and your own reality is really healthy for your mind.
Yeah, not just Cyprus. You're absolutely right. I mean, if you're living in New York and every day you're hustling,
You need to come to Cyprus.
you need to get out of there. Yeah, you need to come to Cyprus. So it's the same thing. Maria, we came here for an iced latte. We ended up talking from politics to geo-economical issues to Cyprus to everything. And I had such a good iced latte with you.
Honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I did not know what we would speak about. You were very mysterious when you invited me, but thank you so much for having me. I always enjoy chatting with you, and I'm really glad that we get to, share some of our insights with a different audience. I mean, obviously, I talk about these things a lot on Ice Latte Girls on our podcast. So if people are interested more in my career and my personal life, they can obviously.
How can they follow it? Where is it?
We're everywhere where you consume your podcasts. And we have a YouTube channel where we post our videos. We have TikTok and Instagram. You can link everything. And they can follow my personal social media as well. And hopefully, they can share their own experiences about Cyprus with us.
Exactly. And guys, if you're still watching till now, I have to say, I hope you're enjoying whatever iced latte you're drinking. But if you did enjoy any of this, please, and for me and Maria, make sure you subscribe to this channel, like it, and if you have any comments on what we discussed, if you agree with anything we said or disagree, because we also want to see who disagrees with what Maria had to say, what I had to say, or what we were talking about, let us know down in the bottom. We are sure that you're going to be commenting. We're expecting your comments, and I promise you that I'm going to be replying to anything that comes our way that is reasonable and that is not hate attack. You know what? We'll go for the haters as well. Let's do it. Yeah.
And honestly, I want to say thanks for making me try this vegan tart. I looked at it and I thought I wanted to say I am really happy. I've told you this before, but I'm really happy you're doing a project like this because I think it's really interesting to start these conversations. So I really do encourage people to interact and speak about their own unique individual experiences. I think it's really cool to share our stories.
There you go. You have it from Maria. So I hope you're enjoying it. And if you ever want to have an iced latte with this girl, you know how to contact her. If you want to have an iced latte with me, come to Cyprus. If you're already in Cyprus, I'll meet you at the Columbia Confectionery. Take care.
There you go.
Done.
Done.